Hello, everyone. Welcome to Navigate Now with Ife. I trust that we are grinding. I trust that we're doing well. I'm also doing well as well. It's like the start of a new season, all hands on deck. I believe it's the same on your end. I would also like to say thank you for every support that we've been getting this season. I see them, I see the streams, I see the comments, I see the support, I see the critics, and they are constructive. Thank you so much. It means a lot to us at Navigate Now with Ife and the entire team. We say thank you so much. If you'd like to be a part of the team also, you're welcome. You can reach out to us. Also, please support us by subscribing on YouTube, on Spotify. Follow us on Instagram and on Facebook as well. Today we have a topic of discourse. I've been talking about it that one day we'll get to it, and it's actually here right now. It's the teaching on mentorship. As we're setting goals, you see that in the previous episodes there was many times, countless times when I mentioned the fact that we need to speak to our mentors, or coaches as the case may be, to help us and guide us in, setting those goals and also even in achieving them, basically. So today we will be talking about practical teaching on mentorship. Here we tend to address what mentorship is. Is there a difference between a mentor and a role model? We'll try and describe who a mentor is, the key things to look out for. How then can you choose a mentor? Then when you choose a mentor, how do you manage a relationship? Can you have more than one mentor? And all of that. I believe that in a few minutes that I have here, we should be able to trash it deeply and practically. Please journey with me on this journey. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very in-depth. Grab your pen, grab your paper, let's learn together. All right, so let's start. Practical teaching on mentorship. So I'll read here. Mentorship is one of the very important and essential aspect of personal and professional growth. This year, what we are really up about is that we grow. And that growth is personal and also professional, right? So mentorship is one key thing that we need, in achieving our personal and professional growth goals. So it is a relationship. So mentorship is a relationship because it involves you relating with at least one person. It is a relationship. So I said it's a relationship where guidance, support, and wisdom are passed down from someone experienced to someone willing to learn and grow. There are key essential things that are being made mention here. It's a relationship between someone that can guide and that can support and that can pass wisdom, passing it down to someone that is willing to learn and grow. In any mentorship, these three key things are essential. There must be guidance. This is how you go. You know what guidance means? Basically, it means to guide somebody, on the path to follow, to avoid mistakes and error. Basically, there must also be support. So it doesn't just end with guidance. There must be support when there is need. Because there'll be need for times where support needs to be given. This person is trying to achieve this and all of that. A mentorship relationship will provide you with support also, depending on what it is. All right, and there must be wisdom passed down. And I'm going to make myself a practical example, as I teach. So funnily enough, I have quite a number of mentors. Okay, this is early to answer the question that can you have more than one mentor? The answer is yes. We'll get to it, in the course of this journey. I have different mentors, right? And I'll make an example of when I wanted to start this podcast. I was to start this podcast last year, but the goal looks intimidating to me. It looks so intimidating to me. The push that made me start it was from one of my mentors. Do you understand? The bigger picture is with him. We shared it together and all of that. He knows he knows better than I do, and he was able to provide me with guidance. He was able to provide me with support, and wisdom was also passed down. All right. When I was to start this podcast, before I get there, I'll get there. I would like to build this point. Let me read what I have here. I said, also know the key words. In every mentorship relationship, there must be the presence of these key and important things: guidance, there must be support, and there must be wisdom passed down. If you're having a relationship that none of these things is being passed down, then it's not mentorship. And mentorship is defined, which means that it follows a particular path. So there will be guidance and support and wisdom passed down in a particular field. So there can be mentorship on finances. There can be mentorship on weight loss or weight gain. There can be mentorship on academic excellence. There can be mentorship on spiritual excellence. There can be mentorship on anything, basically. So if you're looking now for mentorship in a particular aspect of your life, one of the things, the three things you also be considering is that there must be guidance in it, there must be support in it, and wisdom must be passed down in it. It's very essential. So I said another key factor in mentorship is that both parties must be willing. So there are two parties now in mentorship. One is called the mentor, and the other person is called the mentee. The mentor is the person, the experienced person, trying to mentor the other person, trying down to pass down wisdom, trying to give guidance, and trying to give support to somebody that is willing to learn and to grow in that particular field. Okay, so both parties must be willing. That is, the mentor must be willing to mentor, must be willing to pass down what he has. The mentee, which is the receiving hand, must be willing to accept that person as a mentor, one, and to receive what is being passed down, which is the guidance, the support, and the wisdom. I give you an example. When I was to start this mentorship, when I was to start this podcast, really, quite a number of people have been doing podcast on, what I'm about to do. This is not a new field. If you go on YouTube, if you go online, you see so many resourceful materials, and all of that. But I just don't want to be that same person. I just don't want to join the bandwagon, and all of that. So I walk to some people to submit to them for mentorship. One of them is some of you that know me, someone is very crucial and important to me, Pastor Bayo Akintade. He has not done podcast before, but he's a seasoned teacher. This podcast here, what I basically do is I teach practical things, not just that I know, that I've also used in my life and that has worked, not just in my life, also that has worked for so many other people also, because I'm not limiting this entire thing to what I just know. I research, I pray, I read, I had my own personal experiences to it, to season it enough to make sure that it is useful for everybody that have access to these materials. So I reached out to my mentor, Pastor Bayo Akintade, which happens to be my elder brother, and he gave me some key important things. When I was to do this podcast, it was supposed to be purely audio. I didn't want my face to show. He had to explain some things to me why my face has to show. I may not be able to discuss some of those things with you here, but he discussed some key and important things to me, and that is why my face is here. And it's showing some very germane guidance, to me. And obviously, he also gave me support. Do you understand? Because I may not have everything needed. And when I mean support, it doesn't have to be financial. It can be materials. One of the things I know Pastor Bayo Akintade has done for me right from time is that he has exposed me to quality networks and relationships that are very instrumental in life. He gave me access to them by bringing me into their presence and saying, this is this person, this is Ifeoluwa, this is my brother, this is my mentee, I want him to meet you. Strategic key people. I don't have to be mentioning names. And those people, some of those people are, they are very instrumental to my journey in the present and in the future. That is handling me support. There were times he bankrolled me too. You understand? That is support. One of the things that mentorship will give you is it will make you avoid unnecessary errors. Okay? So, instructionally, very germane, mentorship will give you guidance. Because, of course, the mentor most likely has been there before. He has seen before you. He can actually actively tell you have been there. Oh, these are the things that has happened. If he sees you in this particular situation, will be like, oh, most likely in this case, will give you guidance. From the example I've given, I've gotten guidance, I've gotten support, and wisdom has been passed down. All right? So our journey, I don't want us to dwell. So who is a mentor in literal times? I'll read what I have here. A mentor. So if you're trying to look for a mentor, or you're looking for who a mentor, these are the things you look out for. Who is a mentor? A mentor is someone who, number one, has experience, has knowledge or expertise in a particular area or field of interest. Okay, is somebody that has experience, knowledge, or expertise in a particular field of interest. So if you want to embark on a journey that has to do with finances, so that means you are looking for somebody that has experience in the field of finances, someone that has expertise, years of expertise in the field of finances. All right. So experience, knowledge, and expertise is very crucial. I mean, someone can have knowledge and may not have experience. You can read about something, that's knowledge. You are gaining knowledge. But expertise is on the job technical know-how. So the person must have experience, knowledge, and expertise in that particular field that you want to go into. So Pastor Wale that I was talking about he has done podcasts severally, internationally, and all of that. So he has the experience, he has the expertise, he has the knowledge. Okay, it's not limited to that. The second point that you need to look for who a mentor is somebody that is willing to offer personal guidance, advice, encouragement that helps you navigate challenges and achieve your goals. That is, the second point is the person must be willing. So we can have people that have expertise, that have the knowledge, that have the experience, but are not willing to pass those things down to you. Some are not willing to pass it down at all. Some are not willing to pass it to you. Another point could be that somebody that knows how to pass it. I mean, someone can have it and may not know how to pass it. And knowing it, having it doesn't mean you can give it. So it means the person must be willing and be able to pass what he has to you. That's number 2. Number 3, the person must be somebody that can provide insights from their own successes and mistakes to accelerate your growth. These keywords are very key. I mean, they are very germane. The person must be someone that is willing to provide insights from their own. Remember that I said their own personal successes and mistakes. There's not one person that's embarked on something that does not have one mistake or the other. In the previous episode, remember I told us that mistakes are not negative. It is a plus to you. If you made a mistake about something, you have just learned how not to do that thing. So it is a lesson, it's a learning curve for you. All right. I don't know, maybe there are people that have embarked on something and never made a mistake before. Oh well, if that's the case, lucky them. All right. But if you have people that have made mistakes, one of the things that people do is you learn from your mistake, and then if you have a mentee, you make sure that your mentee do not fall into the mistake that you have made. And that is one very good quality of a mentor. They are ready to share insights with you from their own personal successes and mistakes, geared towards your own growth. I go to the next point. 3, a mentor is someone that holds you accountable and inspires you to reach your full potential. A mentor is someone that holds you accountable and inspires you to reach your full potential. I tell you, this podcast I wanted to start last year. We had a conference last year, I think around May, and since then my mentor Pastor Bayaknadi has been on my neck. If when are you doing this? When are you doing this? He was on my neck. When are you doing this? He was even giving me ideas. When are you doing this? This and that. I gave all the excuses until there was no excuse for me. You understand? Even when I started, rather, he's still on my neck. Okay, how about this? How about this? I mean, I'm using him as I have so many mentors, not so many anyways, but I have quite a few. We'll get to that. We'll discuss if you can have more than one mentor and all of that. But he holds me accountable and inspires me to reach my full potential. The next one, a mentor is not necessarily your boss. A mentor is not necessarily your father. A mentor is not necessarily your sibling. I would say, do I say I'm lucky that one of my mentor, which is Pastor Bayaknadi, is my immediate elder brother? Oh, well, good for me. But a mentor doesn't have to necessarily be your boss. It doesn't have to necessarily be your teacher. It doesn't have to necessarily be your parent. But the person must be somebody that is invested in your success and willing to share their journey with you. One point that I have to also share here is that it leads me to a question. Is a mentor the same as a role model? I mean, sometimes people use those words interchangeably. My mentor, my role model, and all of that. Are they the same? The answer is no. Capital no. They are not the same. Though their roles might be entwined sometimes, but it is capital no. All right. So I'll quickly give you a quick one on the difference. A mentor is what we've been describing since morning. You understand? But if you look at it, all of those things happen because all of those things are happening. The guidance, the sharing of experiences, the sharing of support, the wisdom being passed down, they are being done because you have access to that person. So the difference between a mentor and a role model is that you have direct access to that person. You have direct access to that person. It's a one-to-one relationship. It's a one-to-one mapping. It's somebody that if you want to reach today, you can reach them. It's somebody that you have direct access to them, whether via phone call or via one-on-one meeting, sitting in person. But the point is, you have direct access to them. That is who a mentor is. But for a role model, it's somebody that you have seen what they have done or what they are doing. You like it. You want to be something like that. You can. It's possible that you have read their books or you've met them. You've reached their material some way, but you don't have direct access to. The difference basically is the direct access. They can be very inspiring, and all of that, but you don't have direct access. The access you have to them is by proxy, maybe through their materials, their books, and all of that. But a mentor, you have direct access. That is the basic difference. And that is why my main topic today is about mentorship. Yeah, it's good to have role models, yes. They can also be a form of inspiration and all of that. But more importantly is that you need a mentor. They are practically involved in your life to be there with you. And most likely a model will not have that time. Do you understand? Because they don't have that, you don't have that access to each other. They will not have that practical time to sit down with you and analyze things and charge forward with it. All right. So that's the difference between a mentor and a role model. I think we should end it here. We should make it this is the first episode of practical teaching on mentorship. Look out for the next episode where I'll be teaching on why do I need a mentor, and I'll also be teaching on how to choose a mentor. Then I'll also be teaching on how to manage that relationship in mentorship, and give general oversight on what mentorship is all about generally. I trust that you enjoy this particular episode. I believe that this I believe that thoughts would have started brooding in our hearts now. Oh, that okay, for this particular goal I want to do, I want to achieve and all of that. Oh, I need a mentor. Who can that be? And all of that. I'm sure questions are popping up in our hearts right now and all of that. I'd like you to just journey with me, finish the series, this particular episode, brood on it, study it, and listen to the next episode. At the end of this, you will have full knowledge and practical ways to handle your mentorship. I remain your favorite host on this show, on this podcast. My name is Ifeoluwa Akintade, and I say enjoy for now. See you next time. See you in the next episode.